Members should mute. Members should mute as we start.
Maybe nimekaa hapa naangalia na watu hawana lesson.
Mute, we start. I'm waiting for you guys to mute. I'm waiting for you guys. I'm waiting for you guys to mute. Yeah, I'm waiting for you guys to mute. I'm waiting for you guys to mute. I'm waiting for you guys. I'm waiting for you to mute.
Sisi tungekuwa tunasikia venye unarudisha sauti. Umesahau. Umesahau kidogo sauti inarudi sikia. Unaingia lakini hata sauti inarudi.
I'm waiting for you guys to mute.
Network ni mbaya 4.2.
Yeah, I hope you are getting me.
Please.
Just by comment, let me just comment if you are getting me. And members should keep quiet. I don't know. Let me try and mute everyone. Yeah, so maybe by comment you can just, yeah, someone has said that is getting me. Yeah, I've been having issues with YouTube, so I'm trying to create another link for YouTube so that I can share again on WhatsApp. So for those who have issues with the Zoom, I'm going to share. I'm going to share a link for YouTube. So just hold on, I'm going to share that link just now. Then maybe we can review what we did last class. Last class we were discussing about how we can feed computers with input information. And I can remember we mentioned about readers. We mentioned about readers. Maybe briefly, you can, someone can just mention one reader that is used to feed information into the computer system. Remember we were mentioning about OCR. I remember the lecturer teaching you about MCR. Yeah, maybe briefly through the chat. Within 5 minutes, we review what we covered last time. Just through the chat, Then I'll enable at least 3 of you to speak as I try and share trying to share the link for YouTube. Today's lesson, we are having lesson 3. Yeah, keep chatting. Let me just check on the chat. You see OCR, OMR, and someone can identify the functionality. Someone can mention this functionality as I try and share the link on our WhatsApp. User 1, 2, 3. Let me share. Let me share. Let me share these links. Yeah, can you comment on the functionality of each reader, document reader? You can comment, select one functionality, then comment on its functionality. Yeah. Use small. Yeah, keep the comments coming. Keep the comments coming. Keep those comments coming. And everyone should, at least everyone should be able to comment. Everyone should, at least this is the chance for you to comment on what we learned last time. Everyone should at least comment for what we learned last time. I think everyone should comment. And if you want to speak, you raise up your hand as you usually do. I unmute you. If you want to speak, you raise up your hand, I unmute you. Let me check. Some of you want to speak. Yes, we can start with Valentine. Valentine, you can unmute and speak. Yes, Valentine, go ahead. I don't know members if you are getting Valentine. From my side, I'm not getting her.
To give me this chance to talk, I'd like to differentiate between OCR and MICR. OCR, which is optical character reader, is used to scan objects and images. OCR and images into real or in studios. Magnetic in character recognition.
Hopefully you have gotten her. Thank you, Valentine. We can go to Frida. Frida, unmute. Yes, Frida. Frida Cheporiot. Frida Cheporiot. Joel Ngome. Yes.
Okay, good morning. I hope everybody is getting me so clear. I want to comment on magnetic readers. There are these characters that are written in magnetic ink. So these readers, they use these magnetic technology to capture data and process it into meaningful information. Also, there are these characters that are handwritten. So they are scanned by using the light technology. They are captured and they are scanned, and they can be able to be processed by a computer. Like they can be able to be converted into computer language and interpreted well. Thank you. Those are my submissions.
Thank you, Joel, for that good discussion. Samuel Wekesa.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning too.
Sir, I have one concern here.
Yes.
We have left one document reader out, that is optical barcode recognition. It's not included in our notes.
Optical
barcode recognition.
Recognition. Can you maybe just, we are learning, can you maybe just illustrate on it?
Now, for me, I will explain how MICRE, how it works. MICRE, the document is written in iron oxide, and then when it's passed through the machine, it creates a magnetic pattern where the machine have four characters to include or to assign each magnetic pattern. That's how it reads the document.
Okay, right. Martin Wekesa. Martin Wekesa. I hope members you are taking notes because you are learning. And probably next week, we are going to give you a cut next week.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I hope you are getting me clear.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, sir. Me, I wanted to retaliate on my friend Samuel Wekesa barcode reader.
Yes.
The one which was left out. Yeah, I wanted to say that barcode readers are photoelectric scanners that read the barcodes or vertical zebra strips mark, which are printed on products. And these devices are generally or usually used in supermarkets or bookshops. That is it, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Hope everyone has taken note of that. As I have said, next week, probably, we are going to have cut one. We have delayed this cut one because most of you are taking a lot of time to settle. So hopefully everyone has settled. And if you have a new member in your class, please guide that new member to enroll. Guide that new member to enroll the course. Share the links for that new member so that we try and move together. I'm trying to share the link for YouTube. Let me just try again. Yeah, I think it has gone. Just check on the channel that we usually share the links. I've been able to share the link for the YouTube because the previous link was having some problem. Let me share again. Yeah, I think it's there. It is there. Let me check again. Don't know second years. I think second years School of Education are here with us because some of you are still lost. Some of you are still lost. And you see, next week we are going to have a cut. And that cut should cover from topic 1 to topic 3. And there is no room for extension. The cut will be there. You do it or don't do it, then we move forward. Okay, my WhatsApp is taking a lot of time to send a message, but I think I have been able to share that. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, before I do that, let me just check if our lecturer is here. Let me just check if our lecturer has joined. Yeah, our lecturer has joined, but as we usually do, I'll maybe guide you through a bit, then he will take charge. Let me share this record. Then I want just to take you to the e-learning. I want to take you to the e-learning portal. Where is it? No, I want just to me try and minimize some of the things here. Yeah, I think let me just share what we are where you are supposed to be now. We have done lesson 1. I think we have done topic 1, introduction to computers. What we have done, we have defined what a computer is. We have also been able to define some basic terminologies like a computer, input device, output device, CPU. Also, we were able to define evolution of computers from the first generation to the current generation. We were also able to define classification of computers. We can classify, maybe I can repeat that. We can classify computers depending on their purpose. Let me just check. Maybe we can start that. We were able also to define characteristics of computers. Last time, we were able to define characteristics of computers. Let me just, I think we are also able to define applications of computers. Then advantages and disadvantages of computers. So maybe we can start from there. Let me just share another blank screen and take note of what we are going to cover. These notes are all are already on the e-learning. Let me just share this one. Wanted to share this blank document. Yeah. So today we are going to have a look at types of computers. Maybe we're just trying to revise types of computers. Let me just add the font. Yeah, our topic, so we're going to just have types of computers. So computers have shapes and sizes. Apart from shapes and sizes, a computer has also a purpose. Computer has also a purpose. And also, a computer has a defined way on how it processes data. That is a type of data. that the computer uses. So we can say these are types of computers, or rather we can say character or category, how to categorize computers. That's computer categorization. So computer can be categorized depending on the shapes and the size. Computer can be categorized depending on the purpose. So we have small computers. Small computers, or some of you call them microchips, right? Microchips. So we have a very small computer that you can even, very small, the size of your ring, the size of your necklace, the size of your earring. So those are called microcomputers. Then these computers can move into very big servers. Okay. Okay. So we have those microcomputers that are very small. We can have very small computers that, you know, some of you have those smart watches. Some of you have microchips. Okay. So then we have very large computers, like the servers. Have you ever seen a server? A server is very big. Have you ever seen a mainframe? A mainframe computer? A computer that's used to control robots, a computer that's used to control the satellite, a computer that's used to control smart devices. So you can have very small computer, the size of your nail, and we call them a microchip, that has some sensors that can communicate. Some of you have smart watches that function the same way as a computer. So then we have these very big computers that we can call them servers, mainframe. Then we have purpose. We have how can we categorize computers? We can categorize computers depending on the purpose. The purpose, what's the reason the computer was made? So we have these personal computers that you can use for your personal work. So we can as well categorize computers depending on the purpose. We have a personal computer, or rather we call them PC, okay? Like your laptop is meant for just your office work, call them a general purpose. These are called general purpose computers. Then we have special computers that designed for specific purpose. That they are designed for a specific purpose. And that is it. Then we can as well classify computers. We can as well classify computers. Let me just put this term classification. We can as well classify computers depending on which type of data that it process. We have analog computers that process analog information. And someone should be able to tell us What's an analog data? Then we have digital computers that processes digital data. Then we have a computer that ranges between analog and digital computer. That computer, we call it as a hybrid. Hybrid computer can switch between analog and digital. So it processes both analog and digital data, digital information. So we have categorized computers into 3 categories. I have said that we have shapes and size. We have small computers, microcomputers or microchips. Then we have very big or big computers. Or what's the difference between big and large? Like the servers and mainframe computers. Then we have a classification of the computer depending on the purpose. Okay, so I've said we have a personal computer. Most of the characteristics of these personal computers, it has a monitor, right? It has a monitor. Some have a keyboard, yes, has a keyboard. It has a mouse, or maybe if it's a laptop, we can say it has a touchpad. And these computers are used by human beings for general purpose. Then we have, okay, let me just label this one so that I think you are making these notes. Then we have number 2. We have said we have what's called dedicated computers. Let me just call it dedicated computers. For dedicated computers, are dedicated for specific functionality. Then we have said we have special purpose computers. We have special purpose computers. We have said that these special purpose computers are used for special purpose, as its name suggests. So we have those computers that are used in medicine, okay? Can say medical application. So a computer that's used for medical application, like maybe to run a surgery, to scan, to do a CT scan, to do an X-ray. You cannot use that computer to monitor the weather. Okay? So we have those computers that are used for geospatial operations. Some applications like nuclear, okay? They are called special purpose computer. We have those computers that are used to run robots, okay? We have those computers that are used in agriculture. We have those computers that are used in rocket science. So you cannot take a computer used in rocket science and you want it to function in robotics or maybe in medical applications. So we have those computers that are used for a special purpose, and we call them a special purpose, called as special purpose computers. Then we said we have computers that can be defined by the size or the application, shape and size. Or maybe you can I can add and speed. Let me add speed. Okay. So from this, we have what's called a supercomputer. Supercomputer. So these supercomputers are large in size. They can occupy an entire room. They have also large storage capability. Large storage capability. They have also high computing speed. High computing speed. So they are called supercomputers. And they are used for large scale. Large scale. They are used for large scale numerical problems. That is computing. In most, they are used in scientific. They are used in scientific and engineering. Those are called supercomputers. Those are the characteristics of the supercomputers. So we have those computers that are used to run robots in industries, manufacturing, to launch a rocket, to manage the satellites, to do operations, maybe in hospitals, to host these big online systems. So they are very large in size. They have large storage space. They have very high computing speed, and they are used for large-scale numerical problems in scientific and engineering. Apart from that, we have what's called a mainframe computer. Mainframe computer. They also have large storage. And computing and powerful or faster. Let me call it a faster computing speed. Computing speed. Let me call them servers. Let me call them servers. These computers are used in applications like weather forecasting, okay? Utabiri wa hali ya hewa. They are used for weather forecasting. Some are used to run rockets, space applications, and etc. Then we have mini computers, like the one that I'm using. We call them PC, okay? These computers are medium size. They are medium size. They are not expensive. I cannot say they are cheap because some of you cannot afford a computer. So I cannot say that they are cheap. They are cheap in the price. So I can say maybe they have moderate cost. Let me just say use the term moderate cost, because if they were cheap, everyone here will be having a computer. Then we mentioned about microcomputers. The smallest. They are used for general purpose. They can be used by one person at a time. I think we shall be able to see how computers process that. We have some computers that can process, or you can use by different people at the same time. But microcomputers are smallest general purpose, used by one person at a time. So those are some of the classifications of computers. So you have said shapes and size and speed. And we have said that we have supercomputers, mainframe computers, mini computers, and microcomputers. Then we have purpose. We have personal computers, dedicated computer, and then we have special purpose computers and their specific applications. Then we have, we said that computer can also be categorized depending on how the type of data that it processes. We said we have analog computers, digital computers, and hybrid. I don't know if someone can explain to us what's an analog, what's a digital. So analog computers, from maybe how I can define an analog computers, we can say the numbers or data representation is in form of physical, let me say physical, measurable quantities. So these computers represent data in a physical measurable quantities. Like we have just a computer that can measure temperature, right? Temperature, 36 degrees Celsius. So that is a physical measurable quantity. Let me say temperature, pressure, okay, voltage, current. What else? ETC, okay? Those are called analog computers. Then we can say they are used, let me just push this one on the next page. We can say these analog computers, they are used to perform arithmetic and logical operations. You see, like the first generation computers that use vacuum tubes and second generations, these are examples of analog computers. So they are used to perform arithmetic and analogical operations to measure physical changes. Like we have said, temperature, pressure, voltage, current, these are physical changes. Another point, we can say that it measures values, of continuously variable. You see, like the voltage keeps on varying, temperatures keeps on varying. So that's characteristics of analog computers. So most they are used for scientific work. Then we have digital computers. Hopefully you are making notes. You are just not watching what I'm doing. You are making notes of this. And I should be able to ask questions after this. So in digital computers, we can say that data is represented in digital, as this name suggests, or number form. Okay, those are characteristics of digital computers. So we can say they operate on digital data by performing arithmetic and logical. These notes are on the LMS operations. So we can say they use discrete signals we shall be able to mention about zeros and one. That's why I call it digital. We shall be able to explain on this. Then we have a hybrid. Hybrid now can work with analog data and digital data. So those are how we can be able to classify computers. Let me come back to you. I want to unmute someone. I want to unmute someone. Tell us the application of computers. In which sectors are the computers applied? Then also I want one of you to tell us how can we classify computers? I like engaging you so that I don't give you everything. So question number one, you tell us applications of computers. Then we tell us categorize. How can we categorize computers? Then we can move as the time moves. So raise up your hand. Raise up your hand. Let me just. Yes, some of you are already chatting in hospitals, in banking, in insurance. Yeah. Then in business, you need to explain how is computer used in business. In hospitals, how do computer use, what are the operations of computers in hospitals? In banking, you need to explain how are computers used in banking and insurance. In institutions of higher learning, like someone has said, university, that's Kipkemoy-Dorcas, how are computers used in institutions? In automations, so I need someone in the military. No, you guys, you are giving me very good notes. I think I should make this note somewhere. I think I should make these notes. Let me just share again. Applications of computers. Application of computers. Someone has said banking and insurance. Someone has said in hospitals. So I want you to explain to me like a 1-year-old. Okay? I want you to explain to me like a 1-year-old how a computer used in these particular sections. So I'm going to unmute, or you can chat. Someone has said advertisement. I'm just making a summary. Advertisement. In banking, in hospitals, engineering. Someone has said engineering. Yeah. Let me just go through your charts. In medical, communication, yeah. Communication, in the cybers, robotics. One has said about communication. Let me say communication and advancement. You see, you can be asked, discuss applications of computers in real life. Okay? Let me pose a question. Discuss applications of computers. Computers in our society. Unaweza ukauliza tu kitu kama hii na tukupe 10 marks. Okay? Najua kupata hiyo 10 marks sio mchezo. You need to talk like a learned person. Okay? Discuss application of computers in our society. 10 marks. Okay? Banking and insurance, you need to explain. Hospitals, you need to explain. In education, you need to explain. And you explain so that we get you. Don't just write rumors. In education, then you are not explaining. In communication and advertisement, you need to explain. In engineering, let me add, someone said scientific research. Okay? Someone said scientific research. Or let me say operations. You need to explain as a learned fellow. Okay. Let me check those who are on YouTube. I have some members who are on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube also you are commenting. Yes. YouTube, we are also commenting. Let me just check those who are on YouTube. On YouTube, we are many. YouTube, we are almost 1,000 plus. Volcan is saying that in a hospital, computers are used to handle both discrete and analog data. Betty Wanyama is saying that computers are used to homes to play games and watching movies, that is entertainment. Tobias Nyongesa, computers are used in our society in the processing of information. Lauren Musilivi, education to prepare database about student performance, yeah. In sports, huyu Johnson anakaa ni mtu wa Manchester United. We shall be able to discuss this one. Someone, we have a guy who's complaining about how computers are very discriminative when it comes to VAR. Where there's a penalty, referee runs to VAR and then checks there's no penalty. Jesita Pesa, computers are used in a hospital for drug testing. I'm on YouTube. Those who are on YouTube, I'm with you. Manuel Odiambo in business for online trade and international trade. Yeah. I think some of you see that the dollars keeps on changing. Some of you do binary. Some of you have sites that you are used to predict between Manchester United and Tottenham, which one will win the game, okay? We have those computers that runs those statistics. We have some computers that are used in research. You guys, I think you guys, you have all this information that I need. Even someone has said that computers are used to control traffic. That's so interesting. They're used to control traffic. Or let me summarize this and call it automation, okay? Where we don't need a human being interventions. So like we use the computers that used to control traffic. And I was asking myself why do these traffic lights keep on? You see a traffic light moves from red, orange, and green. I thought that there's someone somewhere who usually switch these lights. But literally, I know that there's a computer, okay? When you go to these big cities in the streets, you realize that on those roads, we have some sensors. So let us assume we have vehicles that are moving from Kibabii to Kandui, right? We have some vehicles that are moving from Malaba to Webuye. We have some vehicles that are moving from Webuye to Bungoma town. So in these smart cities, we have some sensors that can sense that this lane, we have a lot of traffic. Then we need to stop the other lane for this traffic to reduce. So have a look at smart cities. And you see that we have computers that control the movements of these vehicles. Like for you who have managed to board an aeroplane, you see that sometimes when a Boeing is moving from, let us assume a Boeing is moving from Nairobi to Amsterdam, okay? A Boeing is moving from Nairobi to Amsterdam. So it reaches some time that a pilot puts this a Boeing into an autopilot so that they can even go and sleep so that the computers takes operation. Like you have seen, rockets are being launched. So we have computers that are used to control these rockets. Someone mentioned about robots. Have you ever gone to an industry where everything is done by a robot when it comes to processing, labeling, and packaging? So we have computers, like when you go to these big industries, like sugar processing farm, you realize that most of the items, most of the things are done automatically. So there's a computer somewhere that can package, can assemble a car, can assemble an engine with little human interventions. Let me just go through your charts. They are used in the military, yeah, they are used in supermarkets. So in supermarkets, you can say that they are used in the business. Then you can explain in supermarkets, in predictions, yeah, entertainment industry. So let me unmute. Raise up your hand, I unmute you. Raise up your hand. Let me start by Nyakaumba Jackton. Nyakaumba Jackton, tell us something.
So thank you for the chance. On the uses of computer, you can use computer on business, and in business you can use computer in budgeting when doing budgeting. More so in the government. In the government, parastatal, they use computer in doing budgeting. Again, in business, we can use computers in doing advertisement. The big billboards that we see in major towns or in major cities, they're being made or drawn using the computer. Then in banking sector, we can use the computer in conversion of currency and calculation of payrolls. Then in healthcare or in health, you can use computers are used in diagnosis of certain diseases and keeping records. In military, computers are used in communication and in missile control. Then lastly, in insurance, computer are used to calculate the maturity date of maturity date and interest due date. Thank you.
Wonderful. Someone else, Wilson Juma. Wilson Juma.
Yes, good
Yes.
morning, guys. Yes, good morning, guys. Let me hope you're getting me loud and clear.
Yes, continue.
So for me, I was to talk about the classification of computers.
Yes.
Under classification of computers, they are classified according to the purpose, the type of data processed, and the size. But majorly, I'm going to base on the type of data processed. So the type of data processed, we have we have analog computers, digital computers, and hybrid computers. Under analog computers, they process data that is continuous in nature. For example, numerical numbers like 1, 2, 3, and this is normally applied in calculators, watches, and so on. But for the digital computers, these ones normally process data that is discrete in nature, and sometimes it applies the analog data. And lastly, we have hybrid computers. These hybrid computers, they can process any type of data that is analog or digital. That is it. Thank you for the chance.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I'm looking, I want a lady, Faith Kebaso. Faith Kebaso. Faith Kebaso, yes, continue.
Hello.
Yes.
Getting me here. I would like to talk about applications of computer under education and health care. Under education, we can say that in the e-learning, online courses and education platforms enable remote learning, making education accessible to many. Under research and resources, students and educators can access a vast array of information and resource online. That's under education. Under healthcare, I can say that electronic health records, computers store and manage patient information, improving the efficiency of healthcare services. And under telemedicine, remote consultations and monitoring allow patients to receive care and without visiting a clinic. That's what I have.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Someone else, Paris.
Computers we have in business. In business, it's used in payroll, calculations, and we also have budgeting, sales, and analysis.
Good. Continue another thing. Okay, you are done. Let me look for someone else. Caleb Kitungulu. McDonald Wahungu. Valentine Wekesa.
Thank you, Mr. Sir, for giving me another chance to talk. Hope you are getting me clear.
Yes.
I'd like to talk about in hospitals. For example, in hospitals, they are used to store information and data of various patients. 2, in transportation, computers are used for navigation and traffic management, or they are used for controlling traffic. In business, computers are used in accounting and providing correct values, hence avoiding wrong numericals. In entertainment, we see that computers are used in home for playing games. In banking and insurance, computers are used for conversion of money or for budgeting of sales. Thank you, Mr. Sir.
Wow, that is wonderful. And I think you guys, you are making notes. No, we are learning. It's quite proper for entertainment. Most of you are using this lesson as entertainment purpose. Clinton Zilma. ADS 0199.
Yes, with me, I want to speak about the transportation. Yes, computer help in transportation whereby it enhances efficiency in transportation, for instance, like the fuels and ships.
Oh, that's nice. Let me check for someone else again. We are doing fine. We are doing well. TDS 0374. ADS 0374. Philip Wamalwa.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tested it.
Yes, ADS, continue.
Education. Co-education, it is used in education.
Topic 2.
Topic 2.
Computer
Let me mute this guy.
Okay, sir.
Let me mute. If you are not responding to class, please mute. EDS 0374, continue. Or you can respond through the chat. Let us go to the chat again. As I am trying to introduce another topic. Let us engage through the chat. So as we said, we are tackling up to topic 3. Then next week we are going to have a card. Although we are going to have a lesson again, then after the lesson, we shall be able to have a card next week. And the card will cover what we have been learning since day 1. The card will cover what we have been learning since day 1. So if you are left behind, as we said, be your brother's keeper. If you have a new member who have joined your class, make sure that that new member can access the content on the e-learning. And also that new member is on your WhatsApp. Okay? And also that new member is on your WhatsApp, because next week we are going to have a card and we will not be able to tolerate any laziness. We will not be able to tolerate any laziness. And as we said, lesson 3 is open. As we said, lesson 3 is open. You go to the e-learning portal. I think, I think we shall spend some time on lesson 3 before we go to lesson 4. So even next week, we are also going to have more discussion on lesson 3, because lesson 3, that's where we are going to cover a lot. So I want to introduce another topic called computer system. Computer system elements. Let me just call it computer system elements. And I don't know what comes in your mind when you hear the term element. What comes to your mind when you hear the term computer system element? Maybe through the chat, what comes to your mind when you hear this term computer system element? Yes, someone speaking. You raise up your hand, I unmute you. Oscar Waske, Protich Timothy.
So computer system, a collection of computer entities comes up to
Hello.
Yes.
Yes. I hope you are getting me well.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Computer system is composed of several key elements that work together to process data and perform tasks. These elements can broadly categorized into hardware, software, firmware. Like hardware, you have what we call CPU, that is central processing units, and others that are in there. Thank you.
Okay. So as okay, someone should mute. So as we have said, computer system elements or components, these are the parts that make our computer system. We can start with the input device that we have been discussing since our lesson start. We have said that input devices, these are devices that are used to capture data or to control instructions on our computer system. We have said also, he mentioned about central processing unit, as mentioned about that, or we call it the CPU. Then he mentioned about computer memory, plus storage, computer memory plus storage, or computer memory and storage. Then he mentioned about output device. These are some of the elements that can be interconnected together in an organized way to form a complete computer system. So you can say a computer elements, maybe in an exam they can ask you what's a computer element. You can say these are elements that needs to be interconnected together in an organized way to form a complete computer system. So most of the majority of the computer system, they come up with the input devices. They come up with the central processing unit. They come up with the computer memory and storage. Then output devices. So we have a pathway, or we call it a bus. A bus, it provides the interconnection. So for example, there's a bus from the input to the CPU, from the CPU to the memory, from the memory to the output. So they are connected by a path. So a bus is more of a path. It's a path that provides interconnection of computer elements. So we discuss a lot input devices last lesson, And also in this lesson, we have started by discussing those devices that are used to capture data. So maybe through the chat, can we list input devices through the chat? Can we list these input devices that you know through the chat? Let me start by the keyboard. Another one? Let me just check on the chat. Mouse, joystick, scanner, stylus, mic, microphone. Yeah, you guys, you are brave. So you have mentioned about the keyboard, mouse, the mouse. Someone has mentioned about the joystick. Maybe you'll explain to us what's a joystick. No, we from the village, we might not be able to understand what's a joystick. Someone has mentioned about microphone. Someone has mentioned about a scanner. Let me go to the chat again. Someone has mentioned about biometric camera. Let me go to the chat again. Hey, someone has even mentioned about the touch screen. Someone has mentioned about touch screen. That is being smart. Light pen, trackball. Hey, and you should be able to discuss. Someone has mentioned about light pen. Someone has mentioned about a trackball. Now, because of time, you can be able to discuss these new terminologies. Through the chat, because of time, you can discuss these new terminologies. Someone has mentioned about digitizer. Digitizer. And I think you have a pen somewhere. You are making these notes, huh? They'll come in the exam. Joystick. Someone has, Evelyn Onyango has defined what a joystick is. I say that those devices that are used to play computer games, that's a joystick. If you are playing FIFA, okay. If you are playing Euro Truck, then those devices that they usually hold on their hands is saying that's a joystick. That's wonderful. Someone to define for me, I don't know what is a light pen and a trackball. Someone to define for me what's a light pen. Joystick, a light pen is a USB. A USB is a USB and input device. Okay. A trackball and light pen. Nataka mtu aniexplainie what's a trackball and what's a light pen. Nichanue bana, nichanue. Stylus pen. Niongeze hiyo. Mtu amesema stylus pen. Hey, me add that. Na hizi vitu I make sure I will talk to the lecturer. Hizi vitu next week zikuwe kwa mtihani. I will talk to the lecturer these things next week zikuwe kwa mtihani. What is a trackball? Nataka mtu aniexplainie hizi kwanza, hizi the last four hizi. Kama mnaweza mkaniexplainia hizi itakuwa mmenisaidia so that I know them. A light pen is a pen that is used to write directly on the screen. That from Lalo Boas. Okay, I have got you. I see some laptops or some tablets usually comes with a pen. Microphone is used to convert human speech to electric signal. Lead pen is a pointing device used for drawing and selecting objects on a monitor. Okay. Lead pen is a pointing device used for drawing and selecting objects on a monitor. So it means that a light pen, someone must have a touch screen. Or what do you mean? It allows user to interact the screen by detecting light from this display. It looks like a stylus or pen and is used for pointing direct to the monitor. Okay. Trackball. Kipro teacher may explain a trackball is a stationary device with a ball that's rotated, move the cursor. Oh, nimeona by the way kwa helicopter. Helicopter kuna kakitu hapo hivyo wanacheza nako to control the directions. I don't know. Trackball. Hizi video console, hizi mambo watu wanachezanga PS4, PS5. Okay. So I don't know. We have some laptops that have a trackball on the keyboard. It's something that is roundish on the keyboard. Some laptops usually comes with a trackball that when you rotate it to move the cursor. Even for those who have gone to X-ray, have you ever gone to X-ray or a CT scan? So they don't have a mouse, they have a trackball. For those who have done scanning, okay, those scanners, when you go to X-ray, when you go to CT scan, yeah, I think I can connect what a trackball is. Yes, I can connect what a trackball is. I can connect what a trackball is. Yeah, I like your comments. They are valid. They are valid. They are valid comments. Your comments are very valid. Yeah, we can, I think we can move to the CPU. What's a CPU? Okay. Central processing unit. We usually call it as the brain of the computer. We usually call it as the brain of the computer, right? Central processing unit. Even on your phone has a CPU. Let me check what's the CPU of my phone. Let me just check the CPU of my phone. Let me just check the CPU of my phone. And what's a CPU? We have said it's the brain of the computer. Just trying to check the CPU of my phone. Yeah, I think I have seen the CPU of my phone. And you guys, we should be able to, let me just go through the charts again, because you people, you know a lot. Data storage, the primary component, CPUs are primary component of a computer responsible for executing instructions from programs. Usually refers to the brain of the computer. So CPU performs basic arithmetic, logic, control operations, is the processor. So we call it, in a nutshell, you can say the CPU is the processor, okay? If I can maybe, so it processes data into information. So we call it processes, or it computes data into information. And we have said the components of the CPUs are, some of you have already mentioned the components of the CPU. I'm just going through the chart. Wow. Someone has mentioned about the control unit. Someone has mentioned about the control unit. Control unit. We go to the chart again. ALU. Huh. Okay. What is ALU? Arithmetic logic unit. Arithmetic logic unit. Someone has mentioned about arithmetic and logic unit. And logic unit. And let me check again. What else? Registers. Someone has mentioned about memory. Okay. Memory unit. And this memory unit, someone has specified that are registers. Okay. So we have the control unit, CU. For example, takuuliza what CU. Na wewe confused useme CU ni Christian Union. Sema CU ni Christian Union, then itakuwa kimekuram. Then we have a logic unit and the memory. So those are the basic building block of the CPU. Control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, and the memory unit in form of registers. So what are the functions of the CPU? Someone said that the CPU receives data from input device, processes it, and stores it or displays on the output device. I'm just taking from your charts from what you have said what CPU is. So you can enter data. We can scan data by the use of a scanner. You can record by use of the microphone, right? You can record by the use of a camera. You can type it using a keyboard. You can feed in by the use of the mouse, joystick, microphone, touch screen, light pen, digitizer. Then the CPU receives this data in those input devices. They process it, then stores it or display on the output devices. So the functions of the CPU, functions of the CPU have said performs computation or maybe say processing. It also controls sequence of operations. I shall be able to illustrate on that. It controls the sequence of operations. It also controls, or you can say to give commands. Give commands to all parts of the computer. Okay. Also, it controls the use of main memory, and storage to store data and instructions. So let me illustrate this. We are going to have a look at the functions of the CPU. So we have said that it performs computation. So which part of the CPU performs computations? ALU, right? Arithmetic and logic. It controls the sequence. That's the functions of the CPU. It controls or gives commands. Again, here comes again the CU. It controls the use of the memory. Then again, we can say this part of the CU and memory. Let me maybe illustrate on what this means. So when you want a computer to do something, okay? You want a computer to open a document or to print a document or to scan a document. or to do a mathematical operations. So we have arithmetic, okay? Arithmetic, that is addition, okay? You can do addition, you can do subtraction, okay? You can do subtraction, you can do division, okay? You can do multiplication. Those are some of the arithmetic operations of a computer: addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. Then we have logic or logical. Logical, it can compare. Logical is more about comparing. Logical is more about comparing. Okay, like which one is less than what, more than, which one is greater than. Okay, logical comparisons. Which one should turn on, which one should turn off, which one should be 0, which one should be 1. Those are some of the logical operations of the ALU. Then we have when this data or instructions. So remember, CPU usually runs with instructions. These instructions are usually stored on the memory. We have an instructions to add. We have instructions to subtract. We have an instructions to divide. We have instructions to multiply. Those instructions are stored somewhere on the memory unit on the CPU. So when we say that it performs computation, this computation rotates about arithmetic, and hiyo ni hesabu. The arithmetic ni hesabu. Then logic, it compares one value with another. Those are functions of the CPU. Then we have mentioned about it controls the sequence of operations. You know, we have a lot of processes that are running on a computer. That's why unaasha simu, okay? Simu yako ina hang. Okay? Kama simu yako ina hang, it means that your CPU has failed to control the sequence of operations. We have processes that are running on a computer, and these processes needs to be given priorities. These processes needs to be given a chance on the CPU. Okay? Unasemanga nipe chance. Nipe tu chance moja. Ndio. So we have those processes that usually talk to the CPU, asking the CPU, kindly give me a chance. So to avoid your computer from hanging, or to avoid your computer from crashing, or to avoid the computer from overheating, is the functions of the CPU to control the operations. So when you have a process that's running on a computer, the CPU controls the sequence. Which operations or which body mass should this process have on the CPU? Then we have said that a computer controls or gives commands to all parts of the computer, right? The CPU gives commands or controls all parts of the computer. We have said that the CPU is the brain of the computer. You see how your brain works, okay? Your brain controls all the muscles. It controls all the senses of your body. Just the same way the CPU controls or gives commands to all parts of the computer. The CPU instructs a mouse the CPU instruct the keyboard, the CPU instruct the speaker, the CPU instruct the memory, the CPU instruct the storage for you to save a file. So all the commands that a computer works, it controls everything. Like kama unataka kukula, it comes from the brain. Kama unataka kwenda class, is the brains that tells you. Kama umesimama umechoka unataka kukaa, is the brains that tells you. If you are feeling thirsty, it comes from the brain. So mtu akikwambia wewe akili yako sio mzuri, inamaanisha kuwa your CPU has a problem. It's not controlling your body well. Okay? Look at your neighbor, the way your neighbor dress, the way your neighbor behaves is from the brain, is from the CPU of in between the ears. In between your ears, there's a CPU that controls how you operate. It will tell you to cook ugali before you cook boga, okay? It will tell you not to attend the class. In between your ears, there's a CPU that controls how you operate. So computers also, there's a chip on the computer that controls its operations. We have also said that a computer, it controls the use of the main memory. So a computer has main memory. Let me just mention this. A computer has what's called RAM. Hata simu yako kinunua, naangalianga computer iko na RAM ngapi. So that the bigger the RAM, the faster the computer or the faster the phone, because the CPU has enough memory. So to control the usage of that particular memory, the CPU directs what to run in the memory. The CPU directs where to save data, or also it directs where to fetch data. Then we have ROM. I think we shall have a look at this later. Or maybe I will give you something to do so that you present next class. I think next class, you will teach us. I'll give you work, then I will select someone to teach us when it comes to main memory. Then we have what's called, so main memory, let me just color this. We have mentioned about RAM and ROM. Okay. Then we have storage. Storage, remember we have what's called a hard drive. Hard drive. We have hard drive or hard disk. Let me call it the hard disk. That stores all your files. When you type something on your computer, these files are usually stored on a hard disk. Although some of you have polluted it, you call it the ROM. We shall be able to understand what is meant by the ROM later, and what's the function of the ROM and RAM. So the CPU directs where to store data on your computer, on the hard disk. So remember, on your phone has two storage. Your phone comes with the RAM and storage. Nuna simu anasema ni 2 GB RAM, okay, 32 GB ROM. Ama 4 GB RAM, 64 GB ROM. Okay, we shall be able to explain further in details what we mean by the RAM and ROM when it comes to computing, so that you can have a good, or maybe when you are purchasing a laptop, okay, unataka uangalie hii laptop iko na CPU gani, hii laptop iko na RAM ngapi, hii laptop iko na hard disk size gani. Those are some of the considerations, because it's the function of the CPU, and the bigger the size, the better the performance. So we have mentioned about computer storage. So in the computer storage, you have two types of storage. We have said we have main storage, or we call it main memory. Main memory. And we have mentioned about RAM and ROM. Then we have storage. Under storage, we call it as the secondary storage, where now we have the hard disk, or maybe some of you have what's called SSD. Someone will be able to explain to us what's that. So that's what entails when it comes to the CPU. So let me try and draw. There's a block that we wanted to draw. Let me say, someone in exam, they can ask him using a diagram. Using a diagram, let me give you a work to do. Let me give you work to do. As we wind up, I see the numbers are dropping. Using a diagram, discuss elements of a computer system. Can give you even 20 marks, who cares? Okay. Can give you 20 marks. Using a diagram, discuss elements of a computer system. Sasa hii tunafanya mtihani. Sasa mimi nakuja nichore, mimi draw, nakuja hapa add text. Tuseme we have input devices, Then I'm trying to draw as we wind up. This class should be end at 11. Then we have mentioned about central processing unit, right? Central processing unit. Have a central processing unit. I'm trying to draw. Then under the central processing unit, we have mentioned about ALU. I've mentioned about what? CU. We have mentioned about what? I've mentioned about memory unit. So I'm trying to draw this so that I save you in the exam. Let me take another diagram. No, want to take another shape. Take another shape. Yeah. So that is it. Then we need to have another output. We have mentioned about output device. Mnavyo masomo inakuwa rahisi. Masomo inakuwa rahisi sana. Niweke ikwe katikati, ikwe hapa. So hii ni 20 marks. Najua I'm giving you 20 marks for free. Najua sometimes I wonder students get a soup in this unit. How can you get a soup? Kwa vitu zenye unajua. So we have a input device. It feeds the CPU, right? Nipandishe hivi kidogo kwanza. Then from the central processing unit, it feeds the output device. So let me put memory. Acha nifanye memory unit kwa hapa juu. Memory unit kwa hapa juu. Control unit kwa hapa chini. So hizi vitu ziko ndani ya CPU. Remember we have mentioned about components of the CPU. Okay? So there's data that's moving of the memory unit to control unit. Okay? There's also data that's moving through the ALU to memory unit. Then all these operations are done from the control unit. So once you draw this block in exam, then you explain input devices, you explain the CPUs, the components of the CPUs, and the output devices using the example, then you have your 20 marks. Okay? Can you draw this diagram? Draw this diagram. Let me give you 5 minutes to draw this diagram. Let me give you 5 minutes to draw that diagram. Our class ends at 11. So those who are leaving, just leave. Huh? Just leave. For those who are leaving, got nothing to lose. Huh? I got nothing to lose. Huh?
Yes, sir.
I'm just going to have a summary for our lesson. Let me just take. I have some good slides. So hopefully you have copied this. I want to summarize my lesson and end it by 11. And remember, next week we are going to have a cut after the lesson. And the cut is going to cover from lesson 1 to week 1 to week 3. And it will be a tough one. So if you are not going through the course, if you are not going to read the content on the e-learning, then maisha itakuwa ngumu kidogo. Allow me to, the cut will be very tough. Online, the cut will be online. The cut will be online. People are now, no, cut, niwezi umeso uko university, mbona tukupe cut rahisi? Mbona tukupe cut rahisi? Cut ikwe ngumu kama cut. Unajua pia cut wanasemaga tuko ngumu kama roho ya paka. Sa cut itakuwa ngumu kama roho ya paka. Next week after the lesson. So kwa wenye hamsomi kwa e-learning, and I told you that the system can show you. Okay, if I go to the system, I will show you lastly. If I go to the system can show if you are using the e-learning or not. Okay. Okay, don't mind about how many questions, how many hours, but I want to show you that, I want to attest, to prove to you that the cut will be there, okay? The cut will be there. Hours and minutes and the number of questions doesn't matter, but the cut will be there. Let me summarize through this slide. Let me summarize, please, so that you can go and prepare for the next lesson. We have said that a computer system encompasses all the physical components that made up the computer. And we have realized that apart from the hardware, also you have the software part of the computer. So these systems or these elements are interconnected, enabling the computer to process information, to store data, and interact with the world. Then we have been able to identify the physical components, which are the input devices, the components on the system unit, the CPU, the motherboards, the storage and main memory. When we say physical components, these are tangible components that you can see with your naked eyes. Then when we say the software components, these are instructions that you cannot touch, but you can feel them through the interface. That's how I'm just preparing you for the next lesson, what we shall be able to cover when it comes to the hardware components and the software components of the computer. So it means that without the hardware, the computer system will do nothing. Okay? So there must be an interaction between the hardware and the software for the computer to operate. Okay? Like you in your brain, there's something that controls your brain. Okay? something live in you that controls you. So the same to computers, we have something that controls the computer, and this is the software part that we are going to cover next lesson. We have mentioned about the CPU, and we have said that the CPU is the brain of the computer, and the purpose of the CPU is responsible for executing instructions and performing those calculations. And we shall be able to identify the speeds. How can we categorize the CPU depending on the speed next lesson? We have mentioned about memory, about random access memory, that it stores data and instructions. So remember, for a computer to operate, it needs instructions. For a computer to operate, it also needs data. And this data or these instructions are stored on the memory. We shall have more details on the memory next lesson. So in a nutshell, we have been able to identify input devices that are used to enter data and instructions in the computer system. We have also mentioned about the output devices. We shall be able to explain this further, more details next lesson. Output, they used to output or to present the information to the user. And this maybe we have monitors, printers, speakers, projectors to output. Then we have said that computers communicate through a bus. There's a bus that interconnect all devices on a computer system. So next week, we shall wind up on the hardware part, especially when it comes to memory. Then after we have done the memory part, we shall be able to have a look at the software and the storage. So we shall have a look at the memory of the computer system, the main memory and the secondary memory. Then after we have a look at the memory and the storage, we shall delve into the software part of our computer system, where we have the application software and the system software. Let us go to the e-learning as we wind up the lesson. Let us go to the e-learning. We said we have done this again and again, and we have said that the system can detect your movements. The system has AI, okay? The e-learning has AI that can detect your activities on the system. And the system can show me that you accessed lesson 1. The system can show me that you accessed lesson 2. The system can show you that you have accessed lesson 3. And as you access the system, we say that the system has AI that can give you some ratings. Let me just try to zoom. Let me just try to zoom. Let me zoom. Yeah, I think that's enough. You see, like me, the system has given me 5 points, depending on how active I have used the system or how active I have used this course. And we said for you to see how active you are on the system, you go and click on this arrow. We have this arrow on KUC1120. I've just integrated this for KUC1120, Fundamentals of Computing. Once you are on KUC1120, Fundamentals of Computing, click on this arrow. It will show you how many points have you gained. Like me, I have 5 points. It means I'm much far behind because I'm not a student, but you as a student, you can check on KUC 1120. How many points has the system given you? It can as well even rate you out of the total students, out of the total students in this course, the system can tell you uko namba ngapi. Okay? Like me, I'm number 103. And you students, you have enough time. This course is meant for you. Okay? Go to KUC1120. Click on this arrow here. Angalia kwa ranking, uko namba ngapi? Wanasemanga sijui ati Arsenal iko kwa top of the table. The system inakupea, it gives you your ranking on how active you are on the course. Like we are almost 3,000 plus in this course. Okay, for me, I'm number 103. Sijua uko namba ngapi. Go and click on the leaderboard here, leaderboard. Go and click on the leaderboard. Go and click on the leaderboard. Let me see. This is the leaderboard. Let me see the top 10. Okay. Nasimanga top 10. Sindio. Top 10, the best student who's doing very well with 10 points is Stephen Ouma. We have Wehomba Wafula. We have Michael Waswa Isaac. We have Dominic Kirwa. We have Kiptum Cosmas. We have Kiprotich Rodley. We have Godwin Kiprotich, Duncan Kipruto, Dixon Alex, Talam Magdalene. You see, this top 10, the best have 10 points. Top 10, then we have Talam Magdalene. So go on the system and check, are you among the top 10? If you are not among the top 10, then the system is telling you that you are lazy. You're not doing something on the system, especially as far as KUC 1120 is concerned. I can even go and check at the list of shame. List of shame, those are some of the lazy students in the course. They rarely log into the course and access the activities. I can go and check on the list of shame. Brian Okot Zadok, 1 point. Wambani Abigail Hissa, 1. Bosibori Sylvia, 1. Christine Boke, 1. Wanchala Rael Misanya, male, and ladies, ladies. Hey, ladies. We are, so you see the last person, we are 3,642 students this course. So this student is the last. Let me check again another ones again. Okay, Wilkisa Nekesa, Honda Lucy, Sharon, Caroline, hey, Laura, Robin, David, Duncan, Ademba, Nahari, Margaret, Jeptovian. If you have issues with using KUC 1120, please come to the office. Odell office is at ABB 101. We shall be able to assist you. So the system under KUC 1120, you can go, let me just go back again. So I don't need to populate this list. You can as well see how active or how lazy you are in this course. So the more you access this course, the more you click on these activities and resources, the more points that you gain, okay? We have additional materials. Like we have this video from the previous lesson. When you watch this video, the systems give you points. We have computer generations. You click on this, it opens. When you click on this, it opens, and then you read, okay? Computer generations, first generation. As you continue, we say that the computer has AI, okay? It has AI, it can rate you depending on how active you are. Also, there's a game that we gave you to play around, okay? Where you are supposed to drag and drop. What is an electronic device that controls the flow of electrons in a vacuum? You go and select vacuum tube. Unakuja, una drag, and then you drop where it's supposed to do. What is an electronic component that can be used as an amplifier or as a switch? It's used to control the flow of electricity in radios, television, and computers. You're supposed to drag and drop. What is a small electronic circuit printed on a chip that contains many of its own circuit elements? You are supposed to go select this one and drop. Dash is like the machine language that a computer can understand, except that assembly language uses abbreviated words. Hey, let me check assembly. Let me drag and drop assembly there. It gives me a tick, it means it's correct. Dash is a low-level programming language comprised of a collection of binary digits. A, let me select machine language. I drop there. It ticks, it means that's right. Dash is a cylinder coated with magnetic material on which data and programs can be stored. A cylinder coated with magnetic. Hey, let me check this one. Is it a magnetic drum? Yeah, I have gotten it. Dash is often referred to as the brain or engine of a computer, where most of the processing and operations takes place. CPU. Okay, let me just try and zoom again. You see, you guys become serious. Let me take the CPU and drag it here. Dash is an electronic component held in an integrated circuit that contains a computer's CPU. Let me just select this one. Dash is a small electronic circuit printed on a chip, usually made of silicon. Let me select IC. It takes. Dash is an electronic device that controls the flow of electrons in a vacuum. Let me select transistor. I have failed that. Okay, so that's how you are supposed to do for the purpose of learning. And we are going to put a lot of this dragging and drop on the course so that ukishindwa kusoma ni wetu mwenyewe umeshindwa kusoma. Topic 2 we covered about the organization for a computer, right? What we have done, the hardware, input devices, CPU, memory. So we shall again do this next lesson. There's a video for the last lesson you're supposed to watch. There's a link for optical magnetic readers. You just come here, you click, it takes you to that side. OCR, MICRE, you see, everything's there. Everything is there, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is there, ladies and gentlemen. Let me call it a day. And I allow, if you have something to say, you raise up your hand, I unmute you as we wind down. If you have something to say, you can raise up your hand. You can send chat as we wind up the lesson. John Kipsang, the lesson was excellent. Yeah, we are here to make the lesson excellent and very enjoying. Yeah, you see, next lesson on Monday online. After the lesson, cut. Right? Let me, someone, Kiprotich Timothy, you want to talk? Kiprotich, unmute.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hope you are getting me.
Yes.
You have said that you will give out a topic, one of us to discuss.
Yes.
Which topic is that or subtopic?
Can you maybe we have covered about we can have a look at the CPU, the components of the CPU. Okay. Go and make some notes on the components of the CPU. We have also been able to cover about main memory, and we mentioned about the RAM and ROM. Go and make some brief notes about RAM. Go and make some brief notes about the ROM. We have mentioned about the main memory and the secondary memory. So go and make some notes on that. So I think next week, that will be the first thing. I will be selecting one person. If you can share your screen, if you can make a slides, share your screen so that we engage each other. Is that right, Timothy? Yes, you can make
Yes,
some.
thank you, sir.
You can make some notes on your phone or on your laptop. Then next lesson, we can allow you to share your screen, and as we learn from each other. So in a nutshell, what we have done, let me just share this. Let me just share this. So next week, I would like us to revise about this, okay? I want us to revise about the control, the memory unit, the ALU, what ALU does, and what the control unit does. Then after that, we want us to discuss about the main memory and the secondary memory. So go have a look about the main memory. What's the main memory? And what's the secondary memory? And maybe their characteristics. The notes are available on the LMS, on the e-learning. Just have a look and make a summary of the main memory and the secondary memory. Then next week, God willing, we shall be able to discuss that together with the CPU. Then we shall be able to discuss about the output devices. Then, if the times allow, we shall have a look at the software. If the times allow, we shall have a look at the software. Thank you. Another person wants to talk. Immaculate Makoha and Catherine. Yes.
Okay, sir. I hope you're getting whatever I want to say. You've said that the cut will be given after the lesson. So will it interfere with the other lessons, or like, because after this exactly we have another lesson. So will the cut be in between the time of we are having the lesson, or again it will cause some interferences with the other lessons? That's my concern.
No, the cut will be available for those who are free. Remember, we mentioned about self-directed learning. So we don't want to limit a particular time. So for those who have lessons, they will go to the lesson. Then for those who will be free, they'll be able to do the cut. So we shall find out the best way, but no one will be left behind. Those who are going to the lesson will be able to do the cut after the lesson. Even you can as well try and extend the cut up to the evening, so that we need to have a taste of what we have covered. So don't be worried if you will be having a lesson after the course, just don't be worried about that. Okay? Juma Meshak and Emmanuel Wachana.
Okay, thank you, sir. I hope you are getting me.
Yes, yes.
So my question is, most of the time when we are doing CAT online, the system disturbs us.
No,
I don't know
shall,
if
yes.
I don't know if it will be good or how will it be?
No, it will be good because some of you will be in class. Then those who will be free, they will be doing the CAT. So we should be able to avoid that congestion. So don't maybe struggle, okay? Don't struggle doing the CAT immediately. We can even allow the CAT to even go up to Tuesday, from Monday, Tuesday, even Wednesday, okay?
Yes.
So don't be worried. Don't be worried that the CAT will be maybe available within a particular period. So what I want just you to prepare is that next week we are going to have a CAT, okay? And we shall be checking the system to make sure everyone has done the CAT. If it's on Monday, if it's on a Tuesday, or if it's on a Wednesday, by next week, we need everyone to have done the CAT. Thank you. So we can call it a day. Wish you well. Join the next lesson. Go through the e-learning and prepare for everything. I wish you a nice day.